What's good, peeps? What's good, everyone? Good morning. I say good morning because right now it's just gone 7 in the morning here in LA. We're in this crazy big building where all the media is. Like, when I say all the media, I've never seen anything like this in my life. There's about 300 tables, and every single table is a different media outlet. Crazy. So we're here, obviously, with 888 Sports that sent me and Rory Jennings just over there out to cover the Super Bowl this Sunday. It's been a crazy experience so far, a good one. When I say crazy, I mean crazy in terms of just how big and how grand this thing is. It is nuts. I'm going to show you guys some stuff a bit later, behind the scenes stuff as well. But right now, honestly, just the greatest time in the world. Greatest time in the world. Yesterday, we went to LA Lakers versus the Milwaukee Bucks, which was just, to be so close to LeBron and Giannis Antetokounmpo was a bit nuts. But anyway, let's do some boxing. I feel like I've missed a couple of headlines in the last couple of days, so we're going to go through the stories as always. Let's see what there is to talk about. You know, I always say there's always something to talk about. Let's see what we've got. Eddie Hearn would love to see Canelo fight Dimitri Bivol, but got to be something that motivates him and Eddie Reynoso. This is interesting, this Canelo stuff, because I still don't know what's going on. Like, honestly, I have absolutely no idea. I don't think it's going to be Makabu anymore. Remember, Makabu didn't look good in his last fight, didn't sell the fight enough for me. There just wasn't that kind of like, oh, I can't wait to see Makabu versus Canelo. And that talk has died down about Canelo being a 5-weight world champion. We don't know what's going on with Jamal Charlo. I'm starting to lean towards Gennady Golovkin now. I think that might be the fight they make. Eddie Reynoso has spoken about it, said, look, why not? Golovkin obviously would have to come up to 168, which I think is actually a good thing for Golovkin. I don't think he looks good at 160, but it's weird. We're in a situation where there are so many fights for Canelo. Again, cruiserweight, guys coming up at 160, 168, 175, but nothing's jumping out. Because it's not going to be Beterbiev. They wouldn't do that fight. Beterbiev's fighting Joe Smith anyway. David Benavidez, I think they want maybe one more before that one, although that'll be a massive fight in Mexico. For me, it's either Gennady Golovkin or Jamal Charlo. I think they're the only options for him. And again, I would go Gennady Golovkin 110%. What's this one? Furman. If I have to take another fight before facing Spence Ugas winner, so be it. Yeah, absolutely. Like, he's not done enough to even warrant the winner of that fight. Like, I would say the loser. Like, you know, the loser's a good fight for him. Look, I've said a couple of times in the aftermath of that video that it should be Cavi Velasquez type Avanesian-like. I like Avanesian more. I could argue and say there should be two more if he's going to have a busy year. But if it's one more, then it's got to be an Avanesian, Cavi Velasquez type. Maybe Danny Garcia. I think Danny Garcia is a good shout as well, because Danny Garcia hasn't committed to going to 154 pounds. But yeah, it's got to be one more before Spence Ugas. What I don't like is that Furman hasn't really mentioned Crawford in any of this. That Crawford talk before the fight against Barrios was there. Now, after the fight with Barrios, we're not hearing much about Terence Crawford, which is a shame. But I wouldn't mind seeing him versus Terence Crawford again after one more. That's what I think. A bit here that Conor Benn could be the UK face of DAZN. Yeah, in a couple of years' time, maybe. That should still be Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua should be the face. I guess the questions with AJ is AJ going to have this fight, next one, Usyk, on DAZN? Is it going to be on Sky? We still don't know. I thought 110% after the loss to Usyk at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium that it was going to be DAZN. Now, not quite sure. It's still up in the air. Still up in the air. So if that is the case, then yeah, Conor Benn probably will be the face of DAZN. Probably will be. A bit here on Tyson Fury. White fight will be easy. I knock him out very easy as well. I don't think it will be easy. I don't think so. Look, you have to favour Tyson Fury. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you know, Dillian White will beat Tyson Fury. If I was to do like a 100% split, I would say it's more 80-20 Fury, but that's still, 20 is a lot. Dillian White has been training relentlessly in Portugal. I know that I speak to a few people in and around that camp. He's doing a lot, but Tyson Fury is Tyson Fury. I mean, Tyson Fury is a great fighter. What people shouldn't forget, though, is the amount of punishment Tyson Fury took in the Deontay Wilder fight. It's taken a lot. Look, Dillian White's taken a lot of punishment as well, but I mean, those punches from Deontay Wilder to Tyson Fury, like we're talking huge punches. So he's taken a lot of punishment in 3 fights. Deontay Wilder has landed that right hand a lot in those 3 fights. So you just never know. You know, when people's punch resistance goes, it just goes. It just disappears. Look at Liam Williams the other day against Eubank Jr. All of a sudden, Liam Williams is getting put down with jabs. Look, I'm not comparing Liam Williams to Tyson Fury. I'm just trying to tell you that when someone's punch resistant goes, it just goes. So again, you never know. You never know. Look, I just want it to happen. There are a lot of talks now about April 23rd, which I know was supposed to be a date for Conor Benn, so they might have to, obviously, Eddie and DAZN aren't going to go head-to-head with Tyson Fury. April 23rd, and Wembley seems to be the favoured stadium now. Not the Principality in Cardiff, not Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which would be difficult with the season ongoing, but Wembley. I've always said it was a stadium fight. To do Wembley, you've got to be confident you do 80, 90,000. Like, they wouldn't have, the idea of the Principality Stadium, which I think is around 75, is that they think they can go 15,000 more. That's where you go Wembley. I don't know. Can it do 90,000? Probably, if they do a proper press tour with it and push it. I think it can. But I'm not the audience they're trying to capture. They've captured me already. You need almost a casual fan to come in and say it can do that. So I'm not quite sure. A bit here from Savannah Marshall saying that someone has to tell Shields she really underperformed. Look, it wasn't. It was a good performance from Claressa Shields. You know what the problem is? Because Claressa Shields didn't maybe put the exclamation mark on the performance by getting a stoppage or a knockdown or anything, people might look at it as a bad performance. She won every single round easily. Like, if you're not a puncher, then the next best thing is to make sure you win and you outbox your opponents and you win convincingly. She done that. So I don't know if it wasn't a great performance. I'm not quite sure. Again, if she got a knockdown, I think we'd be saying, you know, that's a great performance because she got the knockdown. Maybe she didn't. She didn't. I'm not sure. Let Savannah Marshall do the work she needs to do in March. Obviously, she's got that fight scheduled, and then there we'll go and we'll see. We'll see who is one of the GOATs out there. We'll find out in June, July potentially when that fight will happen. But I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure at all. This fight I really like. It's been rescheduled a couple of times, but for me it's perfect. Tony Yoka versus Martin Bakole. Now scheduled for May in Paris. I like it. Look, I think Tony Yoka's got all the capabilities of being a top 5, top 6, 7 fighter by the end of the year. Like that's what I think. And people might say, oh, what's he done? Sometimes you can just watch someone's boxing ability and know they've got it. Let's not forget Olympic gold medalist as well back in 2016. Had that time out. Let's not forget he had the indiscretion where he missed 3 drug tests. So, you know, there'll always be that kind of dot against his name. But for me, fantastic fight. And I think Bakole's a good opponent as well because Bakole comes on. Bakole's not a back foot fighter. Bakole will come to him. He'll go toe to toe. And I think that will then bring out the best in Tony Yoka. So, look, hope it happens. If he does get past Bakole, you think there'll at least be 1 more, maybe 2 more by the end of the year. And he needs to start going into that top 15, top 10 bracket. So he ends the year as someone that you think you can go in there against world elite level guys. Like, I'm talking the very, very best. So look, I think it's a great fight for Tony Yoka. Look, it's a good opportunity for Bakole. I still think Bakole has his limits. Was it the Bakole? Was it Kuzman that Bakole fight? And I didn't really think that performance was great, if I'm honest with you. So I think it's a good opportunity for Tony Yoka to make a statement against Bakole, and I think he will make a statement. Errol Spence, Yordenis Ugas official now for April 16th at the AT&T Stadium. Already, it sounds like April's going to be mad. Katie Taylor-Serrano. How mad is April going to be? Katie Taylor-Serrano, Oscar Valdez, Shakur Stevenson, Tyson Fury, DILLIAN WHYTE, Yordenis Ugas, Errol Spence. Woo! That's nuts. That's nuts. All right, last couple of bits. Amir Khan said I'm going to finish off Kell Brook, or finish Kell Brook's career. Look, whoever loses, and I guess it depends how they lose, but whoever loses is in trouble, aren't they? But I think they know this. This is the last big payday for the loser. The winner's got a chance, but it's the last big payday for the loser. I have no idea how this fight's going to play out. Initially, remember I said, Kell Brook will destroy Amir Khan. Now, as the fight's getting closer and now seeing the wear and tear and Kell Brook having to go down to 149 pounds, I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced at all. So, look, I look forward to it. It's a car crash of a boxing match, but I don't mind car crashes sometimes. Again, really good February from Sky. I would love Kel to win, just because I can see more fights for Kel. Like, Kel will fight Conor Benn, maybe at catchweight, but that fight would happen. Kel will definitely fight Chris Eubank Jr. at 160, so there's more fights where, for Khan, those fights are quite difficult. Like, Khan's not going to 160, is he, to fight Chris Eubank Jr. He's certainly not giving Conor Benn a payday, so, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's interesting. What we got else? See if there's anything else before we pack up. It's starting to get busy in here. We're about to go live on TalkSport in, obviously this video will be old by the time it happens, but we're going live on TalkSport in about 50 minutes. Again, massive shout out to 888 Sports for bringing myself and Rory out here. It has been a crazy trip so far, it really has. We're going to a 2-pack museum, like a pop-up museum, later on tonight as well, which should be amazing. Looking forward to that. Let's see. This is an interesting story that not a lot of people have spoken about. Katie Taylor kind of turning down Amanda Serrano's request for their fight to be 12 3-minute rounds. Obviously, you guys know this, it'll be 10 2-minute rounds. That's what championship fights have. Now, there's two things here. For me, personally, I think it should be 12 2-minute rounds. I don't think we should jump to the 3-minute rounds if the other person's not comfortable, and Katie Taylor didn't seem comfortable. Amanda Serrano said things like, in that press conference, that, look, this is an incredible thing, let's do this, let's go up, and Katie Taylor was like, well, it's already incredible. Me and you are fighting, that's enough. We're getting paid, 7 figures each, that's enough. I'm more interested in it going to 12-2 rather than the 3-minute round yet. Look, ideally, in a couple of years' time, it is 12-3, but at least let's give them the extra 2 rounds. So I think 12-2 would have been nice for this. I think jumping from 10-2 to 12-3 is a bit much. I think you do 12-2 and then the next step is 12-3. That's just what I think. But should be a good one. We're going to do a separate video on Danny Jacobs, John Ryder. Obviously that fight goes down Ali Pali. Felix Cash on the card as well. He takes on Medlev, I think the name is. Ellie Scottney has her first title fight. I think it's an international belt. Johnny Fisher's there as well. So we'll do a separate video on that. We'll give it scores on the doors. Obviously, I'm not there for that. Tony Bellew's in America as well. He's not there for that. But still should be a good night of boxing at Ali Pali. But guys, just a quick video. We're out. We're going to go, literally, we've got to go to work in about 45 minutes. So it's going to do that. But thank you very much. Again, big shout out to 888 Sports for having us over here. It's been incredible so far. We've only been here for a couple of days. We've got so much more to do, but already it's been mad. We went to the stadium. I'm going to show you some stadium shots. Ridiculous. Anyway, have a good one. Remember, hit that subscribe button, like and share the videos. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. We're nearly there. We need to get it before March 25th. That's my birthday. We'll get there. Peace and love.